The film begins and a lonely and scared child is trapped in the deep sea. He is trying to save his life and then the scene shifts, where these tiny children are listening to the story of the sea monsters. And then Maisie is shown who tells them the story of the sea monsters. But then the warden of the sea monsters comes there and tells Maisie that this is the kingdom of the king and queen, who are raising the orphan children of the hunters. And you are breaking the rules of this place and insulting them. Now you will not do this mischief again. And then she leaves from there. But her words have no effect on Maisie. She tells the rest of the children that we will live and die with pride. And then she comes out of there. And there a magnificent sea ship is shown, which is called a storm, on which some sea hunters are there. One of them is Jacob, who is very brave. And this second man has come, who is the captain of all of them. All of them have come out to hunt Red Blaster today. Red Blaster is a sea monster. He had snatched a ray of light from his mother 30 years ago. That's why his mother is after him. But then he sees that another sea monster has attacked another ship of the hunters. But his mother tells everyone to move forward. But then Jacob says that we are all hunters. Then whether it is of the last century or the coming century. Hearing this, his mother turns the ship back. But there the second ship is trapped in the jungle of sea monsters. And then he sees that the storm has come to help him. Then the hunters of the storm attract that monster towards them. Everyone gets ready to fight the monster. And the monster also moves forward towards them. They all start attacking him. But then the monster hides under his ship and destroys his entire ship. He completely traps the storm. But then Jacob shoots an arrow at his wound. But that monster throws Jacob out of the ship. And the monster starts attacking him. But then his mother kills that monster and cuts his horn. But then he catches the monster's mother and drowns her in the water. And when the mother's eyes open, he is on the ship. Because Jacob had saved him. But now his ship was in a very bad condition. So they all decide to go back home. And now the mother calls Jacob to her. He tells her that we will all go home and take our reward. We will fix the ship and come back for that monster. And we will erase his existence from this sea. But I am worried that what will happen to this storm after I leave. This ship is immortal, but not me. He shows Jacob the book of the stories of his ancestors. And says that when I kill that monster, I will write something in this book for the last time. Then I will give it to you. I decided this when you met me in the sea. And Jacob is the same child who was shown in the beginning of the film. Poor Jacob also respects all these things. And now they all reach their city, where everyone is very happy to see them. And then they all celebrate together. Where Maisie also reaches, she starts talking to Jacob. Because she is a big fan of sea hunters. She tells Jacob that I am also from the hunting family. And I also have to do the same work when I grow up. And Maisie says that I used to live in the orphanage of the king. But I didn't feel like staying there. So I ran away from there. And I won't go back because I am coming to the storm. But Jacob forbids her to do this. And he sends her back to the orphanage by sitting in the horse carriage. And now the next day, AI reaches the palace with his companions, where they all think that they will be rewarded. But there the queen says that we didn't want the horn of this monster, but the horn of the Red Blaster. The admiral has told us that you let him go. Only because of his hunting law. And he shows them the new way of the admiral's ship. Seeing this, AI says that this ship is not strong. And the argument between the admiral and AI starts. Then Jacob calms the atmosphere. And tells the queen that we are the same hunters who have been working for you for years. You give us just one chance to catch the blaster. If we can't catch it, you cut it into pieces. And the admiral accepts this challenge of Jacob. And then AI goes out to kill the blaster with the hunters. And he makes Jacob the captain. But then he finds out that Maisie is on his ship. Maisie tells AI that I know you. The monster swallowed you. But you came out of his stomach. Maisie praises AI a lot. On which AI gives her permission to stay on the ship. With which Maisie is very happy. Because her dream of becoming a ship was fulfilled. And now she sees the Red Blaster too. They all get ready to attack her. And the Red Blaster also attacks their ship. They all tie their ship with the red blaster with the help of hair and ropes. But the red blaster traps them in its net. On which Jacob says that we will have to cut the rope. Otherwise, he will drown us in the water. And Maisie also hears this. And she sees that all the hunters on the ship are in trouble. And she cuts the rope quickly. Because of which AI can't kill the blaster. But in the meantime, Maisie and Jacob fall into the water. And they see the red blaster in front of them. They both quickly come out of the water and come to a ship. But AI is very angry with Maisie. He talks about killing Maisie. But then the red blaster swallows them both. And now they are inside the blaster's stomach. She is also alive. Dear Maisie is very scared. And they both come near her nose. And then the blaster comes out of the water. Where Jacob makes a plan to kill the blaster again. But his plan is too heavy on him. And he is banned. But then Maisie finds out that the blaster is not dangerous. And she tells Jacob to stop. And the blaster goes away from there. And Maisie and Jacob also stop in a shaft. Where Maisie tells Jacob that it is written in my book that the sea monsters used to come to the shore. No place was safe. Is this true? To which Jacob says that yes, it is true. Because everyone says. But Maisie says that maybe they are not dangerous. The sea is their home. And we go behind them. And the red saved us. She could have swallowed us. I think she is a mother. And Maisie names the blaster Red. But Jacob thinks that all her talks are useless. And he goes away from there. And now the storm is shown. Whose condition is not good. Water starts to fill in it. On which the mother decides to go to Makesh Island. And the mother is very angry. She says that I will take my revenge. For this, I have to destroy the sea. And she thinks that Jacob is dead. And now Jacob and Maisie are shown. Where Maisie sees a small creature. Who starts running away from Maisie. But Maisie feeds him. And she makes him her friend. And she names him Blue. But Jacob refuses to keep him. And throws him away from there. But then he accidentally puts his foot on an egg. After which all the small children come out of the egg. Maisie and Jacob run away from them to the sea. But they all follow them. And then their mother also comes there. But as soon as she gets all her children, she stops there. But then another sea monster attacks Jacob and Maisie. It is very dangerous. But then Red comes there. And she starts fighting with him. But in the meantime, the monster catches Red. Then Maisie helps Red. And Jacob also helps him. After which Red saves the monster's sister. And saves Maisie from her little friend Blue. And now Maisie says to Red in sign language. Can you take us home? And Red understands Maisie's words. She puts all three on her back and takes them ahead. So friends, here we know that this sea monster is not the enemy of humans. But then what happened that humans started hunting them? So let's see further. And now Red reaches the island of Aramuksh. Where he meets a magician. And he asks Red for the most powerful weapon to kill him. And now Red also reaches the shore with Maisie and Jacob. And now Jacob also likes Red. He promises him that from today I will not hunt. But then Red sees the ship of the admiral there. Which makes Red angry. And she cuts 2 pieces of their ship. But in the meantime, Maisie gets hurt. But now I reach there too. And he attacks Red with that dangerous weapon. Which makes Red unconscious. And the poison starts spreading inside him. And they all tie him up. Meanwhile, Jacob also comes to his mother on a boat where he gets Maisie treated by a doctor. Jacob tries to explain to his mother that Red is not dangerous. But his mother doesn't listen to him. And then they all reach the city with Red. And there Maisie's little friend comes to her. And Maisie is very sad to see Red like this. She starts cutting his rope to get rid of him. And they all reach the palace with Red. Where everyone is shocked to see Red. And now his mother is about to kill Red. That's when Jacob stops him. Because of which the fight between the two starts. And his mother throws Jacob into the water. But now Red gets rid of himself. And she starts breaking. She is about to kill her mother. But then Maisie stops her. And Jacob breaks his weapons in front of Red and starts friendship. And now the beautiful Red is also calm. Maisie tells everyone that these books are our history. This is a story that the Queen and the King have made. They are the ones who are inciting us against these animals. They told us to kill them. That's why these animals started hating us. And started killing us. They kill them for their greed. So that they can sell their horns and earn money. And now everyone becomes with Maisie. And they let Red go from there very lovingly. And now Eve throws her weapons. And a little girl teaches everyone how to live. And Maisie and Jacob also start living happily with Blue. And with this the movie ends. So friends, do comment and tell us how you like this movie. And to watch such lovely movies daily, do subscribe to my channel. Yes, I heard right. I will bring a lovely movie for you daily. So that I can be in love with my friends. Thanks for watching.